welcome to Leeds Hacks News. I'm Molly Hammond.
And I'm Natasha Pilling, and here are today's headlines.
Shoppers in Leeds prepare for the onslaught that is Black Friday.
Religious unity in the city in the wake of the Paris terror attacks.
And Hunslet Youth Club is still fighting fit as it marks its 75th anniversary.
But first, we're looking into transport. What's your train service like?
Well, it's been announced today that Virgin Trains are preparing a multi-million-pound revamp of the East Coast fleet. Liam Jackson reports.
Virgin's East Coast fleet is set for a £21 million revamp, meaning Virgin's total spend for improvements is in excess of £40 million since it was first launched in March.
The plan includes refitting 401 carriages cosmetically. 24,123 seats will be refitted, and the first class will be leather seating.
I spoke to the people of Leeds about their standard of train travel services.
Currently at the moment it's a little bit on and off, so you can get trains that sort of look nice on the inside, look nice on the outside, and you get trains that are obviously a little bit older, so you get a lot more road and you get more twos and threes on each side of the aisle, things like that.
They're quite poor, often they're cancelled, often they're delayed, often we've got a huge amount of passengers waiting on the tracks for a train to arrive, so it's not a good impression to get.
With Virgin, they're spending £20 million on revamping their fleet. Would that make you more inclined to use their service?
Probably not. I mean, the service is okay. What would worry me about revamping the fleet is what difference would it make to fares?
Of course, I mean, it depends what route I use. As I say, I got to King's Cross quite a lot from Leeds. I've been on the Virgin trains recently and I think they're very good, so I'm very pleased with Virgin trains.
The new fully refurbished trains will enter service on December 14th when Virgin launches its new service. Liam Jackson reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
Shoppers in Leeds are planning to hit the city streets to bag themselves a bargain in tomorrow's Black Friday sales.
But according to new figures, almost half of people in the city will be doing their shopping online to avoid potential stampedes like those seen last year.
We sent Josh Granger into Leeds to find out more.
Christmas just around the corner, Black Friday has cemented its place as a key date in the UK shopping calendar. Over 30% of locals were expected to turn out this year, as stated in a study conducted by Barclaycard. However, a total of 48% of bargain hunters will choose to shop online to avoid the rush and potential stampedes. We spoke to High Street shop assistant Johnny Woodhead, who described just how busy it can be.
We know, especially in the training centre, that we're really busy there. We try and keep it as calm as we can, but we have a lot of people rushing to get in the doors first thing, trying to get the decent sales and things. We try and keep it calm and try and get to all the customers, but it's hectic in the shop. It's definitely not a normal day.
What are the main benefits for Black Friday for the customer and for yourself?
Cheaper presents and things people are trying to get for Christmas, and people can get that shopping done earlier, much more ahead of their Christmas, nearer the time of the day.
Something you look forward to or dread?
Dread. It's really hectic on Black Friday and it's pretty unnecessary for us guys trying to work at a shop. It's very, very busy.
With high street stores such as Debenhams, House of Fraser and Topshop all offering up to 50% off in Black Friday sales, the streets of Leeds promise to hotten up somewhat tomorrow. Josh Granger for Leeds Hacks News.
Thousands of homes and businesses in Leeds will be better protected from flooding following an announcement in George Osborne's spending review.
A total of 3,000 homes and 500 businesses in the city are set to benefit from a share of £2.3 billion of funding for flood defence schemes across the country.
The announcement came yesterday as part of the Chancellor's autumn statement, which also saw him make a U-turn on cuts to tax credits.
Paris has had nearly 2 weeks now to mourn for the victims of the terror attacks which struck key sites across the city.
In the wake of the tragedy earlier this month, we have a refreshing story of 7 different religions coming together in Leeds to demonstrate peace and solidarity in the community. Sophie Roberts reports.
With the world still mourning IS attacks throughout Europe a fortnight ago, the group Interfaith has been established to send a unique message. Religion does not provoke acts of terror.
National interfaith group is going on, and we've got all over the country, different faith communities are working together to get over the message that interfaith work is important, to understand one another, to work together, and to say there is a different narrative to we represent 9 faiths in Leeds, and we've got a very active programme of dialogue, of meeting each other. Last night we had a really powerful meeting where Muslims, Christians and Jews met about refugees and people who were refugees with their experiences, and we talked of the voice of faith in all that and the importance of friendship and support for refugees. And Leeds Faiths Forum is doing a consistent programme.
Representatives of 7 different religions took to the Merrion Centre in Leeds and spoke to the public to reinforce messages of peace. Children from many different faiths from St Peter's Primary School Choir also performed to show their support.
Time to show there is another story, the story where faith overcomes fear, where friendship overcomes division. And this is the story of Paris. It is also the story of Lebanon, Nigeria, Syria, Turkey, Iraq and elsewhere, where Muslims are the main victims of what Islamic State are doing.
There was a lot of buzz surrounding the event, and peace was promoted at the forefront of the occasion in respect for Paris. People could write messages promoting world peace and engage the public. This sent a real message of happiness throughout the event.
People of different faiths all around the country are making a point of showing how they can work together, meet together and learn to understand each other.
Made in Leeds TV were also there to help convey the message in the city as multicultural as Leeds is.
If you're a person of faith, it doesn't matter what faith it is, you believe in God. You might say my God is somebody else's, but I say all of the gods, all of the Jesus Christ, the Muhammad, the Buddha, etc., all emphasize the same thing. The values are the same. There's too many people that divide us.
It was clear at this event just how much people needed to see the unity in religion and faith in the wake of the Paris attacks. Interfaith will be having similar events throughout the festive season in Leeds, starting with the Trinity Centre next on the 12th of December. I'm Sophie Roberts reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
It's the last Thursday of November, which means that over in the United States, the whole country will be taking a break for Thanksgiving, and one restaurant in Leeds is getting in on the act.
Located in the Trinity Shopping Centre, Craft House has amended its menu for one night only in recognition of the American holiday, offering turkey, pumpkin pie and all the trimmings.
Restaurant manager Tom spoke to Leeds Hacks News earlier today. He said Craft House expects an upturn in business, with Leeds-based American customers and enthusiastic locals packing out their dinner service, with the overwhelming majority ordering from the Thanksgiving-specific menu.
Inspired by a former manager from the US, this is the second year running Craft House has taken part, with the first attempt an overwhelming success.
Happy Thanksgiving to any of our American viewers today. When you think of the suffragettes, it's likely Emmeline Pankhurst and Emily Davison will spring to mind. But have you heard of Leonora Cohen? Known as Leeds' forgotten suffragette, Leonora's life is being remembered in an exhibition at Leeds City Museum.
Earlier today, I spoke to the descendant of Emmeline Pankhurst and a local historian about Leonora, whose efforts have been recognised in the new Hollywood blockbuster Suffragette.
Leonora Cohen was part of the suffragette movement during the 20th century. The existing display of her life in Leeds City Museum has been attracting more attention since her involvement has been highlighted in the film Suffragette. I spoke to local historian Nicola Pullen about Leonora's significance towards women's rights.
What was so pivotal to the movement and her in Leeds?
The main reason that Leonora is the suffragette that we represent in Leeds is because she is our most well-known suffragette. But also we're really lucky because Leonora was quite forward-thinking as a suffragette, and she actually realised how important what she'd been involved in was. So in the 1960s and 70s, she started to give material to the museum. And the problem with a lot of the suffragette women is they were busy doing things, but they didn't actually record any of it. A lot of them might not have had the time, they might not have had the resources, but Leonora was actually very shrewd and she kept a lot of material, which is why we're able to try and reconstruct her story. Her biggest achievement will have been for her being part of the movement that secured the right to vote for women. That I don't think you can ever really top, being part of such a pivotal change in the way that our society works.
Kate Pankhurst, an illustrator and descendant of Emily Pankhurst, is producing a children's book on the subject of women's empowerment. I spoke to Kate and her dog Olive about how suffragettes are now seen as important role models for women today.
I don't think I fully appreciated exactly what she did for women until a little bit more recently, when my work has kind of led me to investigate her further and find out a bit more about the kind of sacrifices that she made, and also the sacrifices that the other women who were in the suffragette movement had to make their voices heard. I think definitely they're role models for women today, and I think it's a really exciting thing that their stories are their personal stories about kind of what they had to give up, what they had to do to fight for a cause that they believed in, to fight to have a say in their lives and how the country was run.
Leonora Cohen isn't just remembered through the display at Leeds City Museum, she's also been commemorated through this plaque, which has been placed at the house she lived in between 1923 and 36, something that herself perhaps she would not have expected.
A sculpture by Yorkshire-born Henry Moore has sold at auction for £1.8 million.
As one of the UK's most renowned sculptors, Moore is known for depicting the human body and landscapes in an abstract way. The sculpture named Umbilicus portrays a human reclining and was purchased by an anonymous buyer at London auction yesterday evening.
The auction house said 5 artworks were sold for more than £1 million each, which experts say shows a continuing demand. Were you a kid in the youth club era? Over the year, youthies have become a rarity.
But in the heart of Leeds lies one of the oldest and most successful youth clubs in Britain.
I took a trip to Hunslet to find out more. The Hunslet Club is celebrating its 75th anniversary this month. Initially set up as a boys' club, it has produced many sporting legends over the years in fields such as boxing and rugby. The club is a place for kids in the local community to socialise and take part in a host of activities. I spoke to a parent whose child is one of the many members of the club. Former professional boxer Darren Rhodes now coaches at the Hunslet and has been a member since he was a young boy. No wonder Leeds City Council has asked the club to set up a replica in another area of the city, but what does CEO and long-standing member Dennis Robbins think of the plans? What is for certain is the bright future of the Hunslet Club, which continues to thrive. I'm Ollie Hammond for leedshacks News.
And now Adam is here with the sport.
To sport now, and former Leeds Rhinos captain Kevin Sinfield is set to make his league debut for Yorkshire Carnegie this weekend as he makes the switch from rugby league to union. Sinfield scored his first points for the club last weekend as he came on to score a penalty during the British and Irish Cup. The 35-year-old Rhinos legend, who made the winning kick at the grand final earlier this year, says he's looking for a new challenge and is hoping to secure promotion for the Carnegie into the Premiership next season. On to football now in the Sky Bet Championship. And last Saturday turned out to be another frustrating afternoon for Leeds United at Ellen Road. Despite dominating the game, a 54th minute Joe Newell header earned Rotherham United, managed by ex-Whites boss Neil Redfern, a 1-0 victory. The loss means Leeds are now 16th in the Championship table, and with 19 points and only 2 wins in their last 9 games. Steve Evans' side will be looking to bounce back this weekend when they travel to London to face Queen's Park Rangers, who are currently 1 place above them. That's all for sport. Back to Molly and Tasha.
And now Molly is here with the weather.
A quick look at today's weather, and as we ease into this evening, temperatures will remain mild but breezy, with a minimum temperature of 8 degrees and slight patches of fog and rain further to the east. Tomorrow, don't forget your gloves and scarf. A cloudy and windy day is to be expected, with wintry showers and much colder weather across the region.
And that's all for today's show.
From us and the team here at Leeds Hacks News, goodbye and have a great weekend.